Hi, I'm Mindy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Stephen King book tab, which was originally created by the Bookish Drummer, and I was tagged by Jason's Weird Reads. The first prompt is name your favorite Stephen King book. For me, my favorite, the one that cannot be replaced, it seems, that has a special place in my heart, is The Drawing of the Three. And this is the second book in the Dark Tower series, and this is the book where we're introduced to all of my favorite characters in the most amazing, mind-blowing way. When I read this, I had read nothing like it before, and I just loved the premise of this series. None of the other books quite stand up to this one. This is the best in my opinion, but the whole series is one that I love as well. Number 2, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Name a book that gave you nightmares or kept you up late at night. I don't get nightmares from books. Sometimes I have had dreams that are kind of themed, kind of seem like the book in a way, and some of the creepier things in the book, but they don't scare me like a nightmare would. I really enjoy it because I love scary movies, I love reading scary books, so I love it when my dreams turn those creepy ways. They're just fun for me. But one that did affect me more than books usually do is The Siren and the Specter by Jonathan Janz, which is a haunting book. And there's this scene where the main character is going up a set of stairs in the dark, and something very scary happens as he's getting to the top of the stairs, and yeah, that scene, it really got me. It really got me. Number 3, Joyland. Name a book that makes you happy. I think that the Rat Queens comic book series makes me happy because it is hilarious. This group of female warriors that go on a lot of different adventures, and they are just the most hilarious characters ever. And I just have such a good time when I read that series. Question 4, Misery. Name a book that made you sad. The Fisherman by John Langan. I love sad books. I am quite alright with a book that makes me sad. And this one, you know, the point of this book is to be sad. It's all about grief and dealing with the loss of, you know, the most important person in your life or people. So, yeah, it's a sad one, and I love it. 5, Cujo. Name your favorite animal companion. There is a book that I just finished, and that one is the one that's the top of my mind right now, and that is the dog Beer Mug from The Forgetting Moon. And I know that this is a very beloved animal companion because every time that Beer Mug came into a scene and was mentioned in a scene or does anything, I would just cheer, Beer Mug! Yeah, so apparently I like Beer Mug. It's a great name, by the way. Yes, he's such a good boy. Very loyal and helpful, and it's just really fun to cheer, Beer Mug! Okay, 6, Dr. Sleep. Name a book that bored you to death or made you fall asleep. Well, I have a video coming up that I've been trying to decide if I'm going to do it or not, of unpopular opinions, horror books that are beloved but I don't like, and this tag has a couple of questions that are spoiling some of those books, but oh well. So my choice for a book that bored me is The Turn of the Screw by Henry James, which is a beloved classic Victorian ghost story, and I could not get into it at all. Other than, I think, maybe one scene that was very, very cool and atmospheric in the middle of a marsh or swamp with ghosts, and, you know, it had a great scene. But other than that, I was completely bored. Question 7. The Eyes of the Dragon. Name your favorite book or series with dragons. And that would be the Song of Ice and Fire series. This is one of my favorite series, and this is the one in my top series that has dragons, so it had to be this. Daenerys and her dragons. Yeah, the series doesn't have many dragons, but it does have some, so going with that. 8, 4 Past Midnight. Name a book you stayed up way too late to finish. The last book that I stayed up way too late to finish was The Appeal by Janice Hallett, and I got to a certain point and I knew I was getting close to all the secrets being revealed, so I just stayed up. I just stayed up until I was done. I could not stop for, you know, something so unneeded as sleep. No way. So yeah, that one got me to where I had to finish it before I went to bed. Number 9, End of Watch. Name your favorite last book in a series. I'm really bad at finishing series, and a lot of series are not finished yet. I have not read all that many last books in series. And the ones that I have read, a lot of them are not great or weren't as good as the other books in the series. But I decided to go with Last Sacrifice, which is the final book in the Vampire Academy series. And I have not read this one in a long time. I've been wanting to reread it. It's the only one I haven't reread in recent years. And as I recall, has a very satisfying ending, and things wrap up in a way that I am happy with. So I'm going with Last Sacrifice. Question 10, The Outsider. Name your most unpopular opinion that makes you feel like an outsider. And for this one, it is a Stephen King book, and that would be Salem's Lot. Salem's Lot is my least favorite Stephen King book because I went into the book wanting vampires, a vampire novel, and this one I thought was so boring and not enough excitement, not enough vampire scenes until you get to the end. Like, it has a crazy end. But I did not care at all about the townspeople, and it just made me angry and more and more angry as I read the book, when the whole book is just telling every single thing that everyone in the town ever did, and you're like, meh, where are the vampires? This is so dumb. I feel like I went into the book the wrong mindset, and I will be trying to reread it soon because I've read other Stephen King books where they focus on the characters in a town's lives, and I found those characters more interesting. So I don't know what happened with this one. Where was the disconnect? I don't know. Plus, I've read a lot more Stephen King books, and I've heard there's connections to other books, and I want to reread and see if I can find those and see if it makes me like the book more. But right now, Salem's Lot is my biggest oopsie bad unpopular opinion. So 11, Rage. Name a book that you rage quit or DNF. I don't think I've rage quit any books. Like, I'm not easily rattled to where I will rage quit. But there have been some that were close, and I was like, if it wasn't for this redeeming quality or that, I would have rage quit. Like, no, I'm not a fan of something that they did, you know. But the last book that I DNF'd was the Aliens comic book series. Oh, I have it. Hold on. Okay. The last book that I DNF'd was the Aliens comic book because I was expecting it to be awesome like the movies, and for some reason I did not connect to this story at all. Question 12. Different seasons. Name your favorite seasonal book. I think my favorite seasonal book I just finished recently, and that was the Serve Cold anthology, which was a booktube anthology edited by Regina St. Clair and Steve Donahue. And I loved every single story in that anthology. And they were all about freezing cold situations, and they all had a great winter vibe. 13. Finders Keepers. Name your most prized, rare, expensive book you own. That would be my illustrated Song of Ice and Fire editions that I have. These are definitely my favorite books, and I love them. They're beautiful, beautiful. Number 14, Later. Name a book you keep putting off and telling yourself you will get to later. That would be The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. I am not sold that I'm even going to like this book. I'm not a huge fan of extreme horror, except for maybe I haven't given it a fair shot. I'm just pretty sure that I will not like extreme horror. And this one is extreme. It has extreme scenes of torture, and it is based on a true story, which makes it even worse. But so many people, you know, talk about how great this book is, and it's on so many lists of scariest books. I've had this book forever because I wanted to read all the scariest books. And I do have it on my 40 books to read before I'm 40, so I am probably getting to it very soon. So the waiting time might be finally coming to an end, but I am really still nervous about getting into this one. 15, Desperation. Name a new release you're desperate to get your hands on. I'm not going with a new release because any new releases that I was desperate to get my hands on, I went and got ARCs for, so I have them. But I have one in the future that is going to be coming out that I want to get my hands on. And that is Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones, which is the sequel to My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I absolutely loved that book. I can't wait to get a little bit more of Jade in my life. That was all the questions for the tag. Prompt 16 is to tag your fellow constant readers, and for that I'm going to tag the channels that participate in the Stephen King read along on Brad Proctor's Discord channel hosted by Kelly Hooked on Books. These are the ones that most often participate. If I'm missing anyone, please remind me, and you should be tagged too. But I'm going with The World According to Jay, Fiber Artsy, Kelly Hooked on Books, of course, Brad Proctor, and Book Nook Noggin. I'd love to see your answers for the Stephen King book tag. If you want to tell me how wrong I am about some of my unpopular opinions, or if you agree with any of my answers, I'd love to hear about that down below. But just remember to be kind, and I'll be back very soon with another book-related video. Thanks. Bye.